today's world, more and more people don't know whether they're a man or a woman. But as an accidental red herring, this is actually distracting us from the more important fact: the pursuit of understanding what masculine and feminine really is. The World Wide Web, what was once an open kind of space for everybody, has become an echo chamber. The left, the right, the blue, the red, the Kamala, the Trump, Barcelona, Madrid, man and woman. In a world where we are creating battles for ourselves everywhere, we're trying to really understand our own identity. And there's a lot of misleading information and conversations about the topic of today, which is men and women and femininity and masculinity. And to start it off strong, what I'm about to say may trigger some, but yes, femininity and females and masculinity and males is a different thing. And a male can be feminine and a female can be masculine. They can be more masculine than a man, and men can be more feminine than a woman. It is possible. However, it is not the majority. The majority still stands that most men are still more masculine in essence, and most women are still more feminine in essence. Now, this is just the essence, the core of your character. And what does that actually mean for you? Well, let's break down what masculinity is in essence and what femininity is. So they both have priorities and things that they enjoy more. The masculine, for example, is more purpose driven. It's more interested in its work life and its career and creating something. The masculine enjoys freedom and enjoys bravery. On the other side, femininity prioritizes more relationships and family. It prioritizes the flow of emotions, and that's exactly what I enjoy, is to have emotions, drama, and all of these things back and forth. To feel life, essentially, and the heart beating fast. Now, do not acquire the same mindset that I spoke about in the beginning of in-groups and out-groups. That's not going to do you any good. One is not better than the other, because it so happens that these are the essence of our character, right? I'm, for example, more masculine than feminine, but we have episodes, we have phases of our life where we may be a bit burnt out from work and being a robot and a machine, and we might prioritize more family life, more relationships, and all these types of energies into our being. And conversely, somebody with a feminine core may seek some self-actualization and some career development as they've been working or as they've been developing their family for some time now. There are phases and moments, episodes in our life where we desire one thing more than the other. But it stands true that you have a core that leans more towards one thing than the other. Usually. There are also people who are more 50-50, but we'll touch on that later. Now, there's a great deal of importance for you to actually understand this factor of whether you are more masculine or feminine in your life. Because it may be that you're not focusing on the right things. You may have some sort of bias in your head that tells you that you shouldn't be masculine or that you shouldn't be feminine because A, B, C reasons, when in fact that's what your essence and current priority in life is. You may, for example, be putting a lot of energy and effort into relationships currently, and you're single, whatever, you're looking for a girlfriend, when in fact that is not what fulfills you or what you really desire. But to develop your career and develop yourself is. Understanding your essence and understanding your current priority in life will ensure that you don't get distracted or off task into something that you really shouldn't be doing, that is not making you happier, that's not making you more fulfilled, that is not bringing you happiness or joy. I mean, yeah, maybe a little, but not as much as that other thing could bring you. Now, most people don't know this and don't practice this correctly, but it's a magic, a great benefit for you to use both the feminine and masculine, for you to have both in your life. Most people achieve this through a relationship where somebody is more feminine and somebody is more masculine. Now, typically, and this is kind of changing as years go by, but typically it is the man being more masculine and the woman being more feminine. Now's a good time to mention that there are couples which are more 50-50. But here's the thing that separates them, and here's a great benefit of a more polarized couple. A couple that's more 50-50, right? They're both kind of masculine and feminine. They have an equal amount of attention towards the relationship and towards their own development. They may get along well. Matter of fact, their relationship may be more like friends, right? But they won't treat each other like real, deep lovers that ravish each other into the communion of love and all of these things. A couple that's like this, more 50-50, you would actually hardly ever see them arguing about stuff. They would kind of just laugh and fight and whatever, and have sex and whatever, but not really explore each other's depths, not really understand what each of them is capable of. On the other hand, a polarized couple, where the man is divine masculine and the woman is divine feminine. They have an incredible intensity as they make love and melt as one. They have a great spiritual wisdom, and unlike many other 50-50 couples, they don't have a feeling like there's something missing. Yes, things are great, but there's nothing missing in these types of couples. And above all, if you're a person that's more lenient towards being feminine or masculine, then you would enjoy this type of couple more. Unfortunately, it is what it is in romance, sexuality, and love. You are attracted to what you are attracted to. For example, in homosexual couples, where you could say that it will be more natural to be 50-50, the ones that actually last longer and that thrive better are the ones where one person is more feminine and one person is more masculine. The benefits that will come along this type of polarization in your relationship are that you will feel an incredible amount of motivation from that person. You will feel inspired by them. You will feel rehabilitated whenever you feel tired, rejuvenized. You will deepen your own spiritual wisdom, and you may be getting a closer glance of what true love really is. Now, there's a problem with this modern society, where we castrate warriors and where we dull the muses of life. We hear plenty of women say, you know, I am a manager at my workplace and all of this, but when I get home, I just want to feel like a queen. I want to be feminine. I'm sick and tired of bossing people around all day. I just want to relax. And conversely, you hear men saying, when I get home, I just want to be treated with respect. And then these men won't treat themselves with respect. They'll be working a job or a position or a lifestyle where they don't command this type of respect, where they are not leaders of any sort. You don't have to be a CEO in every career that you walk in, but you must be free and you must be masculine, and that is not being submissive. But a real masculine neither is oppressive. Somebody that's a leader, somebody that is strong. Real masculinity is somebody that leads the pack, but that is a good influence on the others around them. And certainly that type of man that behaves in that way, when they get home, they will command the respect that they deserve. But no, you don't go home, sit on the couch, watch TV, drink beer. Is that a manly thing to do? It is fine to relax, but have you made sure that you've not only worked outside of the house, but say you have a wife at home that's not giving you that respect that you're asking for? Have you made sure that you ravished her as well, just like you've ravished perhaps or perhaps not the world in your workday? You gotta make sure that you don't leave out any space. When you've completed and satisfied everyone, then you can relax, of course. And the problem in the modern era is that you are told things like being masculine is bad, you know, you're toxic, or being feminine is bad, you're being submissive and you're being brainwashed. Things of the sort, when in fact you may just want these things for yourself, but the world is telling you what is bad for yourself, even though when it's actually something that you would prioritize and enjoy. Perhaps a good thing to do after this video is to sit down and think about what things you really like and act according to that, not according to what the world tells you. And yeah, a bit of both exist. Masculine females and feminine men. It's true, they exist and they are out there. And these couples, these people should get together and they will have a fulfilling relationship and partnership. But ask yourself whether that's truly you. Whether you are not in fact masculine as a man, or whether you are not in fact feminine as a woman and you're more of the other side. Ask yourself whether that's truly the case, or whether it's something implanted by society. Because yes, there are cases where you may be a feminine man and a masculine woman. But is it really you? Is it really what you want? In this world where we value more independency, even though we are social creatures, it is true that we also put more care, and we ought to, into being both a bit of masculine and a bit of feminine, because we actually require this to survive. But we are in a place in time where we don't know how to do that correctly. And I actually haven't seen many people speak about how to satisfy them both correctly, because not many people in the first place understand masculinity and femininity. And I know at the start I said about, being work driven versus being more relationship orientated, but it's more than only that. I've been mapping out actually a kind of formula, because there's energies, right? There's masculine and feminine energies. Absorbing these energies from the world would satisfy that craving that you have inside, and will make sure that almost as if you were completing your own yin and yang. Well, I've been finding out a solution to kind of satisfy the soul for both of these aspects. To be honest, I've kind of been working and moving like a philosopher. I've been writing stuff and thinking, and I don't know, I'm certainly on the path discovering something that hasn't been told, so I'm very excited for the future. And I will for sure share more of this, but I need to put my thoughts together on it, so maybe subscribe if you want to see that later on. But as a little snippet, there are things like drinking a beer, you know, in the sunlight, listening to music with your friends. These are feminine energies that you absorb that benefit your masculine core or your core in general. Masculinity and femininity is not so one-dimensional that it's like woman and man, although that's pretty clear by now. But neither is it alone acquired or developed through the thing that your interest, like your family or your career, but rather they are forces and energies as well that float, and we have an opportunity to absorb all around us every single day. There's a book actually that I'm writing about like human purpose and stuff, and after that I have a lot to write about this topic, so maybe follow my journey or whatever if you want to see that. I'm seriously putting a lot of effort, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I know it's gonna be awesome, the result. So yeah, anyway, if you like that, or if you like me, or if you like what I say in general better than that, then subscribe, let me know, share your thoughts, feedback, appreciate it. Strive to be 1% better every day, and much love.